I guess I'm just going to say this. Ants versus termites.
Ants versus termites.
Ants versus termites.
Which side are you on, dear listener? And Brederick, ants versus termites.
Okay, so I'm just shooting from the hip here. I don't like either of them. I don't like bugs. I'm not like a dude who's freaked out by bugs.
No.
Bugs.
Brederick, let me reframe this. You are either an ant or you are a termite. Imagine that reincarnation exists and you are about to be reincarnated in one of these two colonies.
Bro, I'm 100%.
Which one do you choose?
Man, I'm an ant. I'm a team player. I'm a hard worker. I'm an explorer. I like to just like go out and find stuff. I like to cut up leaves. I like to bring them back to the house. I like to like take care of the family. I'm definitely an ant. I'm not some wood eater that sits and destroys property. I'm not that kind of guy at all.
You really are painting the termites in unfair light because they are peace loving.
Freak me out, dude. They freak me out.
Can I share I want to pull up an image here, and for those who are not, this may be a little gruesome, so trigger warning. I'm about to share an image of a. One moment. Let me briefly. Brederick, say something compelling.
I'll tell you why I don't like termites, man. I'll tell you why I don't like termites, and it probably goes back to my childhood. And I will say this: you always knew about ants, dude. I think ants live everywhere. I remember reading this statistic that like there are more ants. Like if you were to add up all the biomass of ants on planet Earth, it's like 5 or 10 times like that of the human population. Like there's that many ants just around. It's like one of those like shocker statistics you like hear about on the internet or a nature doc. But termites, on the other hand, were always this just like shuddering thing. You know, you'd see ants out on the driveway or the sidewalk or whatever, but like termites were always this just like, oh, you've got termites. Oh man, your house is effed. Oh, we got to replace the whole like sill plate in your whole house. Oh, your attic is just, oh, you got to tent the house and blow it up with chemicals and poison the furniture. Like, oh, termites. It's like
they're harder to get rid of. Let me add some context here.
Oh my goodness. What is this image?
These are ants attacking a termite. And
wow.
This is let's break it down here. This contest is between two of the most advanced species of eusocial insects. Eusocial insects have queens, they make hives, they have complicated societies. They are most species are deeply involved in agriculture and construction. They both, I believe, depending on the species, but a lot of ants will farm fungus, they'll farm aphids. Termites have very large fungus farms. And termite colonies, some of them can reach like 10 feet tall. These things can be gigantic. They can be occupied for centuries, continuous occupation. Very, very advanced. Ants can reach the same level of complexity. You mentioned the leafcutter ant.
Yes.
You have these eusocial insects. They wage war, but I want to make this important distinction. The ants always initiate the war.
Really?
Yes, the ants are violent and aggressive, and the termites are peace-loving creatures that just want to build gigantic termite mounds and eat your house. But which they don't know it's your house. They just like to eat. Yes, it's peaceful. They just want to eat wood. They just want to eat wood and farm fungus and build large structures.
I see.
The ants are the aggressors. It's kind of similar to the chimps bonobos breakdown. Are you familiar with that?
I am, but maybe you could very high levelly for our audience.
For our audience, I believe it's the Congo River separates the chimpanzee from the bonobo. They look almost exactly the same, but they have behavioral differences, important behavioral differences. The bonobos are hippies, group love, no violence, whatever. The chimps are warlike, hierarchical creatures that are extremely aggressive. Yes. I think that this is kind of similar. They do not have the benefit of the Congo River separating their colonies. And the ants savagely target and literally eat the poor termites. Ants are also they enslave other ants. Ants.
What?
Frederick, I don't think you want to be
You're
an
making
ant.
this up.
I'm
Are you
fully
serious?
on Team Termite here. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know any of this, man. I don't study this stuff. I've never even heard of this. Now you make me sound like I'm some kind of crazy person.
It was kind of a trick. A little unfair on my part.
I thought an ant was a good thing to be. You're a hard worker. You can lift 50 times your body weight or whatever the old wives' tale used to be. And, you were part of a family. You were a unit. You had a mission to keep the hive alive.
It's not what the termites think. Not what the termites think.
It sounds like I need to re-underwrite my understanding of ant colonies. These guys are like the barbarians of.
You can make a change in your colony. You can make a change in your colony. Be like, what if we joined hands and became friends with the termites?
I would love to be friends, man.
Yeah.
I really would. I'm actually nervous about this, the validity of this analogy, because I don't know, like if we're the termites, do we have to become ant-like? I feel like we need to defend ourselves. Against these guys.
Let me read some excerpts from this article. Ants versus termites, the rivalry that predates human language, is fought on a global scale. Although termites and ants are both considered pests, many people do not understand that termites and ants are mortal enemies. If nested close, ants and termites engage in war. Termites, as you can see, are much bigger than ants typically.
Yes.
I know ants can vary in size, but they're big.
Yes.
Let's see if there's anything else important here. Yes, in most cases, ants invade termites' nests, kill the warriors and queen on sight. And the death of the queen is virtually the end of the colony. And then some ant species have been known to prey specifically on termites for food. Some heroic last stand of the termite soldiers. They block the entrances and fight the ants. Why do I bring this up? You may be wondering. A few different reasons.
I am wondering, yes.
You're curious. I've been thinking a lot. This is actually related to AI.
Okay.
It's related to AI. I've been thinking about intelligence. Do you consider ants to be intelligent?
They certainly have some form of intelligence. There's so-called like group intelligence and individual intelligence. They are intelligent in some facet, of course.
Yeah, the ants versus termites thing it was kind of a bait and switch for me to go on a rant about intelligence and eusocial-insects. I still think it was important to point out it's a cool thing to understand that the most advanced insect species are brutal and wage war against each other. The intelligence aspect of it, I don't know exactly how termites do it, but I know ants create like a pheromone map that they can all follow. And they have coordination mechanisms between themselves that primarily go through the pheromones. I think the name is, the word to use is stigmergy, which is collective, some kind of like collective coordination between actors that don't necessarily know each other. So like a stock market would be stigmergic as well.
Got it.
I have been thinking.
That's basically capitalism. The whole society almost is like that.
Yeah, and maybe the termites are a little more like communism, central planning from the. I don't know if that actually probably isn't accurate at all. There's an entomologist somewhere, a myrmecologist who's listening to this is just having a heart attack.
I'm sure.
It's not true. These guys don't know what they're talking about. I got into eusocial-insects because I was trying to figure out what is intelligence even, and what is it, right? I've had this theory for a long time that we need to think about intelligence above the single person.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about ants because there are certain myrmecologists, people who study ants, who have said that ants and bees and termites are the most similar creatures on Earth to humans because we create these huge coordinated systems. There are meaningful differences. For example, all ant colonies are hierarchical in that you as an ant can only be a member of one colony. The correct philosophical term, I think, is holon. A holon means like you are an individual whole, but you are part of a greater whole in a tree-like structure. Holonic. And human systems are actually heteronic, where it's a many-to-many relationship. So that it becomes disanalogous at that stage. But it is fun to... I go to the central business district of a city and I look at the skyscrapers and I'm like, are we not simply termites that build with steel and glass? And someone next to me on the train goes, no, we aren't.
Yeah, I was gonna. You've got a picture here pulled up of an ant with pinchers coming out of their face that are about the same size as their face, and I was gonna say I think our similarities end right there. I don't have a giant pincher thing coming out of my face and walk around all day looking for dead moths. So I'm not so sure.
They do make the ants look bad here, and they make the termites look good. Whoever wrote this article was very pro termite.
Yeah,
it is biased.
I mean, the pictures alone, I'm actually realizing I like bugs even less now. Like, these things are scary looking creatures, man. I realize they're like 100x magnified here. I don't know. I don't hate bugs. I don't love bugs, but I'm leaning more and more against my bug friends here. I don't.
Let me say one more thing about intelligence and ants. Eusocial insects in general, but specifically ants. Intelligence, let me preface this by saying, growing up, many people, many human children are exposed to the smart, dumb, smart, stupid dichotomy, which is a simplification of human thought, but it's a very useful heuristic for decision making. That was smart. That was stupid, right? Like, I put toast in the toaster, smart. I took the toaster into the bathtub with me, stupid.
Right.
If wherever there is intelligence, there is also stupidity. And stupidity, I think, can be defined. You need to have intelligence to have stupidity. Stupidity is almost like the misapplication of intelligence versus the absence of it. And the perfect example for ants is the ant mill. Have you ever heard of an ant mill?
No.
An ant mill is where, so ants navigate the environment by creating a pheromone map, little chemical trails that they can follow with their, what are those things called?
Antennas.
Antennas, yes. And they follow around the pheromone trails. If they create a circular pheromone trail, people have seen ants going in a circle following the trail until they die.
I've seen this before. I don't know if they died, but I've definitely seen them doing that before.
No, they die. If there are any entomologists listening, please in the comments say who is right. Do the ants in the ant mill die?
I'm not saying they don't die. I'm just saying that's crazy. I've seen that happen before. Yeah.
It's a failure mode.
Like, it was like a circle maybe like this big. Yeah, I just saw them.
But it reminds me of corporations, or it like the body count issue with McNamara's Pentagon in Vietnam, where you think that you're doing something smart, but you set the system up so it will just fail. That's not the best explanation of it. I know it's more detailed than that, but you have these. They have their pheromones. We have our KPIs, and the net result is just total failure.
Well, honestly, Don, what this reminds me of is this idea of wisdom of the crowds. And there is some very interesting kind of emergent intelligence from a group of people. This is now being kind of exploited in full force with these like betting markets, right? Like Polymarket and Kalshi and all these different things. But the original study actually that kind of discovered this, if you will, because I actually used to work in this field a couple of years ago when I was working in the cryptocurrency industry. And there was a guy at like a state fair. And what he did was he asked a bunch of people to estimate the weight of this cow. Have you heard this story, Don?
I haven't, no.
Yeah. So what they did was they were like, okay, how much does this cow weigh? And this was in a culture, I think this was in like the 1908 or something, 1916, something like that. This was in a community where there were a number of people who would actually have like intuition behind this, right? So this was not like
they raise cattle.
Yeah, this was not like a completely crazy thing, but it was this idea that like, okay, but actually nailing the cost or the weight of this thing is going to be challenging. So what they did was they had 100 people or whatever put little pieces of paper in a big fishbowl on how much they thought this thing weighed. And it turns out when they like averaged that, it was like dead on, right? Even though no single number was correct, but the average of all of them was correct. And so it was this idea that you can have kind of super intelligence or super, and I don't mean super, I just mean kind of like above the ability of any of the one person by kind of polling the crowd. That this kind of reminds me of that topic.
Yeah. But the crowd can also cause an intelligence collapse, like the ant mill.
It can.
Where you have, say, like a small company versus a large company. A small company where the whole leadership is, we're focused on this one goal, and we can have phone calls with each other talking about what our mission is, and we can correct course very easily if something comes up. Whereas you can have the pathology of a very large corporation where instead of course correcting, and this is a real example, you could have a reorg at, say, a company like Nike, where one business unit hires McKinsey and one business unit hires Bain, and they use their budget to have the consultants fight over turf in the company with no net result. The size has become a problem.
No, it can be. And I mean, that actually reminds me of a quote from that movie Men in Black with Will Smith, I think before he went crazy, and Tommy Lee Jones, where Tommy Lee Jones is like the veteran Men in Black guy explaining aliens to Will Smith, the kind of junior recruit. And he's just like, Will Smith basically says like, what are you talking about? People are smart. Like they'd get this figured out. And Tommy Lee Jones goes, no, a person is smart. People are stupid.